Hey guys, let's go ahead and come into our seated position, starting in our easy pose, sitting up nice and tall, straight through the crown, so our eyes are at an angle towards the floor, which is proper yoga etiquette to keep your eyes on your own mat. Relaxing the shoulders, bringing them back and down, opening up the heart center. We're going to bring the breath down into the stomach, relaxing everything down into the floor. Recalibrating from the busy go-go to the relaxing. The existing of just being here for a bit. And then we'll start checking in with our range of motion in those hips. A full 360-degree angle rotation. Really checking in with where you feel the stretch, how you feel the stretch. Switching legs when you're ready. I'm doing the same thing over on this side. Then coming into our wide-legged forward fold. Taking our time here. Rubbing out any muscles that are talking to you. Sitting up tall and straight, always focusing on that posture, keeping the core pulled in, shoulders back and down. Breathing fully. Turning your whole torso towards one leg, squaring it up. So squaring, if you think about your hips and your shoulders being a rectangle, you want to square your shoulders to the foot, which means straight in the middle. We're going to go up first, stretching through the fingertips before we come down. Inside hand goes on the outside of the foot. Continuing to square a little bit with this hand over here, pushing up, pushing up with this arm. So as it kind of creates a twist, taking a deep breath. Finding our patience with the poses, with our body. And then coming up and over to the other side. Again, squaring first. Reaching through. And then coming down. So we're stretching through the ribs and the hips over here, back here, just as much as we are the legs and the arms. Sitting up tall through the spine. Breathing fully. Coming back to center. Rock it out a little bit. And let's bring our feet together, counter pose, cobbler. Posture's super important here. I'm always going to tell you that. Checking in with how you feel today. Physically, mentally, emotionally. Never needing to put a name to it. Never needing to label it as good or bad. We're just noticing it. And we'll come back up. I'm going to turn so you can kind of see a little bit. We're going to take our feet from where they are and move them about 5 or 6 inches out. Readjust the sit bones. And then it's the same stretch, but now instead of feeling it on the inside of the thighs, we should be feeling it on the outside. Coming back up. Shaking it out a little bit if you need to. And we're stretching up through the fingertips again and coming through for our forward fold. This one is really slept on as good for the hips, but it really, really is. The more space that we can create in this lower back, the more we can release the tightness there, the less pain we're going to have in that area. So that's where you want to be focusing on this area. All right, now let's come up into our squat. Deep breath. Anytime you find a quiet part, and I'm not talking to you or directing you, what you're supposed to be doing then is focusing on your body, scanning through, just checking in. Where does it feel? What does it feel? How does it feel? What is it trying to communicate to you? Notice your surroundings. You're checking in with your senses, which also is checking in with your body. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you taste? What do you touch? What do you feel? Any colors and textures? Solidity of the floor. How the air feels on your skin. Hyper awareness of the present moment is what we're looking for. We're focusing on the breath, focusing on the posture. I do my best to direct you, but sometimes I get lost in my own relaxing, because that's what we're essentially trying to do, is relax into the moment. Find our contentment, find our peace. Let's push up through the legs. Oh man. Yeah. Shake it out a little bit. Relax those shoulders. Just move it out. Find all the range of motions. You're also free to turn some music on if you like. We're practicing intuitive yoga for the most part. I direct you, but mostly I want you to listen to your body and let it direct you where to move and how to move. Music's great, but I can't play you any per copyright infringements. All right. I'm gonna inhale up. Stretch through the fingertips, stretch through the ribs. Going out as we come down. So another forward fold. Bringing the hands to the shins, rolling the shoulders back, creating space in the neck, and down again. Letting the head hang heavy. Letting the head hang heavy. And again, letting the head hang heavy because it is a lot harder to do than you think. Most of my students do not do it correctly. That neck really wants to be in control, but you really got to let it go. Let gravity take hold. Relaxing into it, pulling apart the vertebrae, creating space in the lower back. Planting the hands on the mat. Let's take right foot back for our runner's lunge. Keeping it back knee up strong. Stepping back to plank for just a minute. Then bringing that right foot up to the right hand, so we're in a runner's lunge on the other side. Back to plank again. Push back to down dog. It's more of an upper body stretch than a lower body stretch. Let's bring that right foot up to the ceiling, pointing the toe. And then bringing it all the way through for pigeon. Now staying up here is just fine, if that's where you are. Or you can come all the way down to the floor. Bringing some balance back to the breath. Breathing deeply and fully into the belly. Relaxing the face and shoulders. Always scanning the body. Always checking into the senses. If you notice your mind wandering to other things, just gently bring it back to the present moment. To-do lists and responsibilities can wait. This is just as productive as doing the dishes, or more so, honestly, probably. It depends. And then let's push back up. Coming back into our down dog. Bicycle through the legs. Restore blood flow. And let's bring the left foot up to the ceiling. Again, pointing the toe. And then we'll bring it all the way through for pigeon on the other side. Breathing, melting into the mat, acknowledging the space that we're creating, not only in our bodies, but in our lives, in our daily routines. Remembering that we feel so much better when we can slow down a little while. And let's push back up. But this time we're just going to bring this back leg around and stack it on top of this one. So getting the knees to line up the best that we can. And if you are stuck here, that's fine. But if you can lean forward, that's even better. Again, wherever you are with the pose is fine. So if this is all you got right now, then that's all you got right now, and that's okay. This is the goal, though. How long it takes you to reach that goal depends on a lot of factors. And then we'll switch sides. Always focusing on that posture. Sitting tall through the crown. coming back up, we're gonna bring gently, okay? In fact, start like this, stretch it out first, and then bring it to the back, all right? Now, if you want to do one side at a time, that's fine. Let's just do one side at a time. Okay, we'll just do one side at a time. We'll work our way to the other one. But so we got that one leg back here, going the other direction. We're going to twist towards it. Okay. Sitting up tall. Shoulders back and down. Chest open. And then coming back through, stretching this one out first, and then bringing it in. Because remember, slow and controlled so that our body has plenty enough time to be like, wait, no, don't do that. Because all of our bodies are different. Some of us have injuries we have to worry about, think about. You're always responsible for your own tap out around here. I can facilitate, but I can't translate what's going on between you and your body. I can answer questions. Please always reach out to questions if you like. Please always let me know if you are wanting something specific. Like, hey, can we do a class on shoulders? That's probably what our next class will be about. But, you know, whatever area you'd like to focus on, please let me know. We can dedicate a class to it. All right. Shake it out. And then we're going to come around to our backs. If you have a yoga block, that'd be great. If you don't have a yoga block, highly recommend getting one. They're like $7 at Walmart. I really wouldn't pay any more for that than that. The cork ones are hard as rocks, okay? So don't get a cork one, even though the aesthetic's pretty cool. That's for like, that's for like balance poses and stuff. That you use a cork one differently than you use a foam one. So definitely the foam one. That's where we're starting out. All right. Let's boot slowly all the way down to the floor. I recently ate lunch, so. All right. Now, on our backs, on the floor, for one, let's just take a second and enjoy how nice this feels, right? We don't lay on the floor near enough, and it's really good for the back. Just feels really nice. And taking a deep breath, we're going to bridge, pushing up through the hips. You don't want to use any butt muscles to hold you up, okay? So don't squeeze those if you can help it. You want to use the lower back muscles. Because remember, we're strengthening all of this to help support the hips, all right? So stretching's great, but strengthening is important too. Strengthening takes the stress off of different parts, so you have less pain, because you have your other muscles that aren't trying to overcompensate for the weakness in different areas. If you want to add a little bit more here, you can straighten one leg out. Totally optional. Everything's optional. You don't have to do anything I say. But if you do that, make sure you do both sides. And you can just hold it there. You can alternate. We're going to take our block, if you have one, and lay on it. Finding that shelf where the hips are, the sacral shelf, which is where it's the triangle, bottom triangle bones plural, that attach your hips to your spine. That's what you're looking for here. Could not recommend this more. It's kind of like a foam roller does, or like a massage does. And just sitting here for most of us is just wonderful. If you don't feel much of anything, then you can bring your legs up, roll around, play with the different directions. If you don't have a block, you can just relax for a minute. Again, though, I highly recommend a block. You're going to want to do this, especially if you have hip problems. You're going to want to do this. It feels amazing. And then we can remove the block. Bring the knees to the chest. Roll around a little bit, because that is considered a back bend. So anytime we do a back bend, we want to put our spine back the direction it's supposed to go before we start moving around again. And then bending the knees, let's cross one leg over. It doesn't matter which one, because we're going to do both sides. And then bring that up however you can for reclined pigeon. Switching sides whenever you're ready. Breathing deeply. Relaxing the face and shoulders. And then stretching one leg out, keeping the other bent, keeping the shoulders on the floor. We're going to roll over towards the straight leg. Stretching through that bottom heel, this right here. Melting into the mat with every exhale. Telling our body that it's done a great job today. Thanking ourselves for allowing ourselves to spend this time creating space within our bodies and our minds, taking care of ourselves. Gosh, we're doing a great job. Let's come back to center. Straightening out first before we switch sides. Noticing the air on our skin. Noticing the floor beneath us. Coming back to center. Bringing the knees up again. And slowly coming back up to our seated position. Back to our easy pose. To check in with the posture one last time. Sitting up tall and straight. Shoulders back and down, chest open. Bring the hands together at the heart center to help us remember to live and lead and speak and act with kindness and compassion for both others and ourselves. Namaste. Thanks for spending this time with me. I hope you have a great day.